Hey, what's going on, everybody? John Anthony, Chairshot Sports, a Sport Corner affiliate, and as always, powered by Zoa Energy. Man, Elimination Chamber is in the books. Damn. I've been watching this PLE for a long time since it first started with Bischoff back in the day. Damn. This was amazing cinema. A lot to talk about. Obviously, see the two other gents on my screen. We have Mike from the run-in. I have Mike from Kicking Out at 2. So, just us gents. Damn. I mean, we're going to start at the beginning, but your just initial thoughts. Mike from Kicking, what your initial thoughts after watching the PLE?
Holy crap.
Yes.
We have a joke between me and Tori always that there's a food match. There's always a food match. There was no food match this go around. It was just balls to the wall from the start to the end. The only reprieve we got was the video package for the men's, but even then, it was a great video package. I didn't want to move. So
you had to run to the bathroom, come back while they were doing entrances for the chambers. Come back and get there before they start ringing the bell. Mike from running, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm very much the same. I'll take it a step further and just say, holy shit. I put it as my tag under my name. I mean, they fucking did it.
Yeah,
holy shit.
They did the thing. Oh, man. From start to finish, obviously, with an amazing ending to the PLE. We'll talk about that. So let's just kind of walk through from the beginning to end. We'll get, obviously, a lot to talk about the ending and the post-game and all that other stuff. The women's match delivered on all accounts. We kick it off. Everyone gets in their chambers. Let's go. Who shows up? Jade motherfucking Cargill. You think, oh my God, oh no, Liv's gonna take it, and it's Naomi who gets the brakes beat off of her by Jade Cargill to start this match. They alluded to it a little bit with the announcers. I think this kind of lets us know kind of what's going on, kind of what happened when Jade was kind of laying on a hood with a smashed windshield. But before I take it to you two, I will notice one thing. I rewound it a little bit to just watch the beginning of it. You saw Naomi doing a lot of this. Looking at Bianca like, you're in there. What am I going to do here? I think that tells a little bit. I'm not saying it wasn't Naomi, but I think Bianca at the end of the day kind of has her hands in this. So you go do this, do my bidding for me. Aside from that, the match, amazing. Bianca goes on and wins the entire match. Rox, amazing booking, had an amazing showing in the chamber. Everyone was awesome. I think it was very, very well done from start to finish. So just kind of, I'll start with Mike from the run-in. Your thoughts, obviously, we'll start with Jade, what your thoughts on that is, and just kind of all the way down to Bianca winning the whole thing.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. The only critique I would put on it is I wish Jade would have come out a tad earlier. I get they wanted to do the whole will she hit Liv, will she hit Naomi thing, but at that point you expected the door to be closed already and all that. It's like, well, why is everybody's already in the match? They're all standing there. Why is the door still open? And then that kind of hit. So I mean, you kind of feel like something was coming there. But other than that, I mean, that's the only critique I would have of that part of it. The match was amazing. Again, like you mentioned, I love how they gave Roxanne not necessarily the giant spot, but they showed that she's definitely the future, that it took all three of them to eliminate her. You had Bianca reversing Pop Rocks into the code breaker and then the Twisted Bliss right after. So it took all three of the veterans to eliminate the rookie, which kind of tells you what they think about Roxanne.
Yes.
So I was happy to see that. And of course I was happy to see Bianca win because I thought that's who was going to win. I thought that's who it should be. And then the sight at the end with Io, Rhea, and Bianca standing there face to face. I mean, whether we get a singles match between any of those three or a triple threat match, we can't lose at WrestleMania with that.
Nope. I agree. Mike from Kicking, what were your thoughts?
First of all, Oscar level performance from Bianca in the pod.
Oh,
her best friend is getting
the tears, man.
Oh. Yeah, shit kicked out of her. And she's like, get me out of this pod. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Just such a great look on that. This right here to me The opening of that is what makes the production value of WWE so good. Because we know a lot of those things, like the chamber door being shut on Naomi, probably didn't even get really near her, but they kept on that camera angle to show as if it just like obliterated her.
Yep.
Such a great choice. And then they last second after it hit, then we cut to the other side. So she can sell it to the camera. Great look on that. The girls did amazing. I can't think of like one bad spot in that, which is really great to see in a women's chamber match where everybody's just on the same page. I agree with Big Mike. I think Roxy had a star-making performance in this one, especially the stuff she did with Alexa. I think maybe that's where they go with her on that, just because her and Alexa seem to have a little bit of back and forth in the chamber. So maybe we close out the stuff with Bailey and then go on to that.
No, absolutely. I think it was awesome. Everyone was great. Bianca winning. We get obviously the three of them at the we have the entrance. Whether it's like you said, it's the two of them or a triple threat. I think Mania is going to be awesome with any of that going on. That's going to be great. Great way to kick off the PLE. Real quick before we keep going. Let's see. Lady Alpha is in the house.
What's up, Lady Alpha?
Lady Alpha, thank you so much for joining us. Also, Stampede. What's going on, guys? Hey, Stampede. minus Princess Skywalker. She is not here tonight. She's entertaining guests in her home in Colorado, so she is not here tonight. So awesome. So then we get the Tiffy Trishy match against Candice and against Nia. Again, great match. Great match. I think all four have great chemistry. Obviously, anytime Trish is in a ring and she's wrestling is great. That woman ages like fine wine. I feel like she gets younger and younger and younger every time I see her on a WWE television screen. It's wild. But I think the match was great. Trish hits the ultimate Stratisfaction off the top rope. And then Tiffy hits the prettiest moonsault, gets the 1, 2, 3. Again, I think we all thought this was kind of how it was going to go. The baby faces go over going into WrestleMania. Your thoughts on the match, guys? I'll start with Mike from Running.
I mean, it was a good match. They were never going to put on a classic. But it is what it is. I was kind of confused at the end when right after she hit the Stratisfaction off the top rope and tagged Tiffany in. Like Tiffany was trying, and I get the part. At first she was trying to push her off the ring apron so she could throw Candice LeRae over, and Candice LeRae would have stood there. Yeah. But then even after that, you could and they even showed it on the replay, which kind of surprised me. Kind of going back to the camera angles and stuff that you mentioned earlier, Michael. They showed it again, and it shows Tiffany kicking at Trish after she had already thrown Candice. Like, there's no reason for that now. Just go make the pin.
Yeah, it was like
the spot's already done.
Off the apron.
So I don't know if they'll try to play into that or anything, but that was the only thing that kind of really was kind of weird about it. But I mean, it was what it was. It was entertaining. You got to see the hometown hero win with one of the more popular women on the roster, and it was what it was. It was a good match.
Awesome. No, I agree. Mike from Kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a hometown pop. That's what this was for. Get Tiffany over a little bit more. And kind of close out the her and Nia thing officially. So we can kind of move on from that. We all figured this is how that was going to turn out. I think that's the only thing you and me actually agreed on, John, was the fact that Tiffy Time was going to win this.
Yeah, I was going to say totally opposite of everything else.
But it was a good match. It was there for what it was for. It was there for a nice, good, feel good thing for the home crowd.
Yeah, it was a good match. I appreciate it. It was good. It was obviously those guys are obviously very seasoned when it comes to being with each other in the ring. So it was good chemistry, no botches, anything. Everything was great. But I saw that too, the whole scuffing out. What is she doing? And she kept kicking her. I'm like, Tiffany, what are you doing? Stop. But then Trish got back in and they're hugging and I'm like, okay, I guess it was just kind of her just
yeah. That's what shocked me more was when they showed the replay. They showed her again. I was like, well, no, that you're not supposed to show that part again. Cut the replay.
It was like that's her feet out on a mat. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Awesome. So that was a great match. And then I think there was a match we were all waiting for to see exactly how far they were going to take this match. KO, Sami Zayn, unsanctioned in Toronto. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was when it started, maybe 15 minutes in, I'm like, this is gonna be it. Like, what are we doing? And then it kind of like hit that next level. Someone hit the stick shift and kicked it into another gear, and I went, holy shit! Wow, what are we doing? And the crazy thing for me is it's unsanctioned, right? So many people are out here telling KO, stop, man. Come on. What are you doing? Don't do this. It's unsanctioned. What do you care? I thought WWE like let go. Literally, she literally said WWE absolves themselves of anything that happens. And officials like, no, man, stop. Don't do it. Don't leave him alone. Let's just call it off. What? No, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But the match was awesome. Sammy channeling his inner Cactus Jack. I feel like with the barbed wire steel chair, and Kevin Owens just kind of getting his pound of flesh. It was a great match. It was a great match, man. On both ends, they went up and down the arena. It was awesome to see. KO gets the win here. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if it's exactly what Mike wanted, because I know Mike didn't want any of these guys to see each other until after WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens. But Mike and Kicker, what are your thoughts about the match? And yeah, how'd you like it?
So I agree with you 100%. It feels like it was in second gear for the first 5-10 minutes. And then something, I don't know if it was nerves when they started or what, but it's like at one point they just went for it and hit it hard there. The callbacks in this match, the fun spots, doing the Raven spot onto the chair with barbed wire.
Yes.
That's awesome. I always love that spot.
Yes.
Him doing the couple of power bombs to the apron outside, calling back to the very first time they met in NXT. All that stuff was amazing. Yeah, it may be a little different than I wanted, but I do think we don't see Sammy until we're ready to build for WrestleMania, and then that may be where we go from there, unless we do Randy Orton, because obviously that was the big surprise, is Randy Orton coming back, trying to go back to Old Faithful and pump his head, punt kick his head off.
I was waiting for him. I got so excited when he threw the chair. I was like, yes. Yeah. And then they stopped and went, come on, man.
But I mean, that's now the tease. That's what we tease.
That literally tells you that's those two at Mania. That's because you're going to get the punt. That's what you're waiting for now. It's for him to do that.
I wish he would have pointed at Pat McAfee before he did it too. That'd have been funny.
Yes. Just do one of these. Didn't Pat just go nuts? But no, all of those. I'm glad you saw the callbacks too. I'm sure Mike did it. Big Mike did as well. Yeah, Mike from Running. What were your thoughts?
I mean, 100% my WWE match of the year so far.
Oh, yes,
by a mile.
That's a good match.
And I don't know, and I've got to go back and watch it, because I may have been seeing stuff when Sammy was walking down the hallway before their match, like way before their match. Was there or was there not a picture of like Terry Funk over his shoulder on one of the cases or something like that?
I think it's on the right hand side when he's walking over.
Yeah.
I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah, like his left hand, like over his left hand shoulder, there was like a picture of Terry Funk on one of the cases as he's walking by. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's pretty appropriate. Because I figured at one point we would get that kind of match. And then the barbed wire chair comes out and all that. And even before the barbed wire chair, once they got going, I agree, it started out slow. I doubt it was nerves, just because they've done this so many times. I think they were just building suspense. They were trying to build to that crescendo that they got towards the end.
Yeah.
The exploder onto the chair. Holy crap.
Yeah. The table spot was awesome. The double chair. I haven't seen a double table spot. I think, geez, man, it's been a while. I don't want to see Cena.
Somebody went off of a cage last,
but it's been a minute.
Yeah, I want to say somebody. I mean, it may not even have been WWE. I want to say I saw somebody go off a couple of chairs off of a cage or something like that last year.
It's been a while since I saw it. He set the second one up, and Pac literally talking about him Legoing tables together. Yeah. And the fact, we're talking about this match. Did anyone catch when he threw the trash can at Kevin Owens? He said, "Oh my God, he just hit Kevin Owens with material." Yeah. I literally, I almost woke up my youngest. I was laughing so hard. Just such an organic call, dude. Pat McAfee's a treasure, dude. I love that man on commentary.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of people hating on Pat. I love Pat.
Well, literally, Cole was on impulsive. And he was saying, like, they were like, so what about how's it go down? And Mike Cole's like, yeah, I know everything. I want to know things so I can call it and be like informative and let the people know. And like, what about McAfee? And Cole literally goes, nope. He wants to know nothing about it. It's so every time you see Pat McAfee go, oh my God, that's organic. It's real. He has no idea what the hell's going on. Unless it's like something involving him, he has no idea what's going on in the show. It's
one of my favorite quotes from that podcast he was on. He said, now it's like two guys sitting here having a beer watching wrestling.
Yeah, at the bar.
And just that alone, like I love the way that feels to him now.
And Cole, obviously, I mean, time is obviously working against him. He has hearing issues and things like that. But I really hope that like he's around for a long, long time because Michael Cole is he's just so good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and McAfee, I feel like I have a 10-year-old Mancoon cat and I have a 5-year-old little kid, and she keeps him. I feel like McAfee makes Cole comes to work. He's happy to work again. Mm-hmm. He loves it. It's happy for him. It keeps him young. And just he enjoys it more when like
he's eating on a table at his age.
Yes, and other people that used to be in his ear that he talked about as well that kind of wore him down. But now I feel like
it's probably why he can't hear now. All the yelling that used to go on.
Can you imagine Vince in your ear for fucking
you son of a bitch?
Tell him to fucking go down. Fucking God, jeez. You cost me 40% of this. But no. So
and the second part of that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But the second part of that, you're right. That's not how I thought the match would go. Obviously, I said it would be the main event. Little did I know what was going to happen later in the night. But I also said I didn't want to see either one of them until after WrestleMania. I'm okay with the way they did it because Randy came back this early. If they had not brought Randy back for like a week or two before the pay-per-view, and that was all you had to build this, that's what I didn't want, because they had mentioned like he wasn't coming back until the European tour, which is like a week or two before WrestleMania. And I was like, I don't want that short. And I get it. They had history from him hurting him earlier, but I want to see those two go back and forth on the mic, go back and forth in attacks for a month of shows rather than just one show before the pay-per-view. So I'm okay with it now that I know he's come back now and he can actually take bumps. He took a lot of bumps. Of course, he was just RKO and everybody, but
RKO party, baby. Everyone got it. Everyone got one.
Yeah, the fact that he can get physical, and we've got a month and a half, because I just remembered that it was mid-April when WrestleMania is coming up. I'm okay with it. I really am.
So let's go around the room before we talk about the men's elimination chamber. Let's go around. Obviously, I think we know what KO is going to have in store for him at WrestleMania. It's going to be him, Randy Orton. Do we see Sammy at Mania? Or does he get a pass? We see him after that to sell the injuries. What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't.
So you think we just hold him off and just sell it all up until maybe the night after or whatever going on, and maybe if KO loses or whatnot, or maybe wins. I don't think he goes over at Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton gets that win at Mania. So Sammy after Mania. Mike,
Sammy sometime after.
Yeah. If nothing, like the only reason I want him to do it before is because I'd love to see those two get the match at Mania that they deserve to have. Biggest stage of them all with the biggest fight that they can have. Maybe a Hell in a Cell. But have him come back on the other show and just like come back to it halfway through next year.
You want to see KO and Randy in a Hell in a Cell, or are you talking about Sammy and KO?
Sammy and KO.
Okay. So we're talking about one more blow off then. We're talking about the blow off coming up with those two, like one more time.
Yeah.
All right. I get behind that. All right. So awesome. So obviously it wasn't a big match card. We're close to the main event. Then we have the men's chamber match. This match slapped. It was great. It hit on every cylinder for me. Hit on everything, the whole from start to finish. I was probably the only person apparently alive that didn't think John Cena was going to win this match. So it was too obvious, Mike. Don't laugh at me. Big Mike's laughing. It was too obvious. I just feel like it wasn't the way. But then obviously we have a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber in Toronto. But everyone else showed up. Priest had a great showing. The way that Seth Rollins cost Punk, this match, obviously building to their match in Mania. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks going to Mania as well. The match was awesome from start to finish. John Cena is your number one contender without talking about the main event yet. Your thoughts on just the chamber match alone, how they built everything up. Logan was great. Seth was great. Damian had a great showing. Drew going out first was wild to me. I feel like it was done on purpose because Drew McIntyre is going to have a field day on Friday. Your thoughts, Mikey Kickin, of the men's chamber match?
First of all, I said it in the tweet, and I'm going to say it here. Logan Paul, love him or hate him, is so damn good. He did so good in this match, and he did the RVD spot. Thankfully, he didn't crush anybody's trachea.
Oh, thank God!
So that's fine. I think we also teased a little bit of the Seth Drew stuff that we've been kind of working towards. Of they kind of had the same idea, because Drew gets taken out because he's too focused on Damian. Seth gets taken out because he's too focused on Punk. Cena, sorry.
Yeah.
And so both of them, they were just too focused on the person that they have a problem with, and they get taken out. So they both kind of have that in common. We've been teasing this a little while of having those two together. So I think that may have been a tease for that too. It's weird that they both have that same type of story arc in the same match. But good Lord, the callback of Cena and Punk being in the ring again together, the hug that they had, and of course we'll talk about the rest of that here in a bit, but what that means now.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But in that moment though, like to have them like hug in the middle of the ring after they just jumped Seth. So just great spots in it.
Seth was literally yelling "die" when he hits hits the stop at the end. I'm like, geez. Big Mike from the run-in, your thoughts on the match?
I mean, it was great. Everybody did their job. Logan Paul got to jump off high shit, which is what Logan Paul's really good at. He's good at a lot of other things, but that's what he's really good at. Everybody else told a really good story. I'm glad Drew went out first, because give me more of this salty Drew that's been the last year and a half build, or year and a half or more, really. Because I'd give me all of that. I don't know that I want to see excuse me. I don't know that I want to see him and Damian at Mania. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's probably where we're going, but I don't know how much I want to see that. But I'm anytime you can get Drew McIntyre like that is going to be a plus. Yeah. So I mean, the match itself was great.
Yeah. So Cena, obviously, we all talked about. I think we've all had our shows. We all did our predictions. I think we kind of talked about, well, Cena doesn't win. It's the Cena Logan thing. Does that happen? So it does. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of. I think the next 2-3 weeks are actually, again, I think we can all agree when it's not predictable is when it's the best product that we all are watching, right? So when we're not sitting here going, I got all 6 right, and you're like, fuck, I missed all of them. Yeah. That's because the product is changing and it's evolving, and they're trying to stay on there, keep us all on our toes.
Well, and keep in mind, we still got the Punk favor.
Dude, I'm so. If that better not like just fall into the wayside. I'm telling you, I have a weird feeling. I really hope that when he comes out, he talks about it Monday, because if he doesn't, I'm like, dude, we didn't forget about this, right? We didn't forget about the favor, because this needs to play a part in Mania.
I don't think they will.
However, it happens.
They're not in the business nowadays of just letting that go.
Because there's no way that Punk. But let's talk about that for a minute before we get into the Rock stuff. So the favor, right? So we all know it's gonna be Cena and Cody. Rock, whatever, has his hand. Like, Punk's not getting involved in that, right?
Maybe.
Does Heyman to the boss? Does Heyman really go to Rock and go, well?
Have you watched Paul Heyman for the past 30 years?
Yes, I'm just saying.
Paul Heyman would eat that up.
But I think that story alone, that story does. But that's the thing. That story doesn't need Punk, though. I think that story has its own thing with Cena. That doesn't need anything else. That in itself, with what just happened, with what we're gonna see now moving forward the next 46 days, that doesn't need anything else. And obviously,
I mean, he could always insert himself in the other storyline too, and get in the middle of Jay and Gunther, since he's technically a Raw superstar anyway.
But I've been talking about this. I said a little bit with Jesse when we talked about AEW because we were talking about matches and stuff like that. Spoiler, I don't think Jay wins a Mania. I don't think he does. I think Gunther beats the hell out of him, and Jay keeps going on and does this weird like storyline where he wins down the road. I don't think Gunther loses at Mania, but I don't think you put a triple threat to waste unless you're going to put it on Punk to take it. But you're taking away from Uso. You got Jay and Punk, two big baby faces against Gunther, and then it's weird. And then Punk kind of becomes a heel because Jay doesn't win. I feel like the favor is falling off a little bit, where it maybe be cashed in after Mania, after the smoke is settled, after everything's all set, and maybe we're going to the Mania season. Here we go. We're going to predictions. I think Cena wins. I don't think there's any way Cena doesn't win with the final boss in his hand. And that's when I think you see Punk show up and go, hey, guess what? Let's do a backlash. Like Cena Punk has money in it. Those two had history. They addressed it tonight. We saw it tonight with the handshake and the hug. Mm-hmm. And we saw those two when they were going against each other, like looking at each other. Like there's money in that. They have so much history from Money in the Bank, from all the other rivalries. There's money in that. And I think post-Mania, Cena gets the belt, gets the 17, which sucks. I thought it was going to be a SummerSlam. And that's when Punk kind of goes, guess what? I'll see you soon. Because guess what? I have a shot at you now.
Yeah, but you don't do that at Backlash. You push that out to SummerSlam.
I hope so. Trust me. Yeah. I'm going. I hope so. That's night 2, baby. Yeah. I'm going. Let's go.
There's no way you put Punk Cena for a title on Backlash. I mean, I'm sure Backlash is great, but it's not Cena, that level.
So Cena's going to hold a belt though for 4 months.
If he's a corporate champion, you're damn right he will.
Well, I'm hoping
because he's got the board
clear the schedule, and I want it to be my summer. I want my summer of Cena. It's behind me. You see the summer of Punk, Best versus Beast. I want my summer of Punk. I mean, Cena. I want my summer of Cena. Yeah. Let's go. That's your last. That's your last hurrah. Let's go, man. But anyway, I digress. So Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. He's in the ring. Cody comes out, shaking hands. They're great. Oh my God, I can't wait. Yeah, okay. Here comes The Rock's music. Travis Scott is the first man to walk up the ramp. Here comes Travis Scott with his makeshift hardcore belt. Made about this. I'm sorry, wrong one. It's left of right. This, all hardcored up. And here comes The Rock. They make their way to the ring. Then Rock looks at Cody. He said, listen, man, I can give you everything you want. Let's go. Give me your answer. If this is it, your wildest dreams come true. If not, the nightmare dies tonight. I'm sorry, the dream dies tonight. Again. Such a dig. Such a dig. And Cody, I almost threw my drink on Peacock. Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then the Cena has the embrace. Cena makes the face. We've all been clamoring for I'm pretty sure the better part of 10 years now. We have heel John Cena in WWE for his last 9 months in the company, with aligning himself with the final boss, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm here for it. I'm here for heel John Cena. I love the Doctor of Thugonomics. I love the way. I think what we're gonna get for the time that he's on TV. I think he has like 36 more appearances when he's on here. We get the raps. I think again. We get like I love the walk in, the drop of the mic and just walking out, not talking to anybody was great at the press conference. But I think John's been waiting for this for a long, long time. And again, we've talked about this. This is all what the characters want and what John Cena wants. I think he's been waiting a long, long time to let this inner heel out one more time before he hangs it up. So it's great to see this. So I've talked enough about it. Mike from the run-in, your thoughts on everything that happened as far as The Rock and John Cena turning heel?
Well, I mean, you see it right there under my name. Holy shit. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do it.
The face.
Oh my God, they just did it.
It was just the.
Yeah, the only again, and I'm nitpicking at this point just because I'm that guy, I guess now. John Cena's face, if he would have held off 2 seconds, because he starts the face as soon as he hugs Cody Rhodes, and it's before the throat slash.
You saw that, right?
If he would have had the big smile on his face at that first, and then the throat slash, and then it changes, it would have been perfect. But I mean, again, that's the smallest critique. It was an amazing segment. I have said numerous times I thought KO and Sammy should have main evented. I even said it about that earlier. I was wrong. I was wrong. This should have been the main event. Yeah, they did the thing.
They did the thing. Rock beat the ever living piss out of Cody. Cena does. Let's see. Cena did he hit him with Dusty's watch. He hits him with the belt. Then Travis gets involved, and then Rock beats him like a government mule. Shout out to JR.
They did the deep right tie choke spot.
Yep, they did everything, man. I'm just Cody. I'm so excited for the next 5 weeks of wrestling to just see where we're gonna go. Like how I'm excited for the Cena promos. I'm excited for what Cody's gonna say. I don't really actually care what Cody has to say because it's just going to be kind of the same. But what Cena's going to do, what Rock is going to do, and to what means we're going to get to when Mania comes around. What stipulations, how we're going to stack the deck, how high and how far we're going to go with this. I'm very, very excited.
You mentioned you wanted to see the raps and stuff again. I don't. I want to see Michael and I talked about this. We were watching the post show while we were in the studio, together, and I'm like, I want John Cena to come out in the press conference in a 3-piece suit, completely different. I want it to be a diametrically opposed position than he's ever been, because he's now the corporate guy. I mean, he's always kind of been the corporate guy behind the scenes, but he's never been that outwardly.
I think
he has done this.
I think we get I'm trying to call back to like the album he dropped. He has no even bad man like is like a hip hop. It's like catchy. I'm trying to think of like a darker song for him to
There's a song in the queue already. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. He said when they were talking about him going heel back earlier, he already had a theme ready. He had gear ready. Like he was ready to go out the door.
The jorts need to go. It was funny. Did you hear someone ask in the presser?
Yeah.
So what are we doing with the jorts? And the Rock's like, I don't know. The jorts are.
That's up to John.
I don't know. It's up to John. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, but I would have loved him to come out in a suit during that press conference. Do the same mic drop. Do everything the same, but just been in a suit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna definitely be. Well, it's gonna be on SmackDown, obviously, because USA. The winner out of all this is USA. Like Netflix is like, yeah, cool. We got, yep. SmackDown got Cena with Final Boss Rock against Cody. USA is like, we got you guys. Yeah, let's go. Fuck you, Netflix. We got, yeah, keep you guys.
Yeah, but much like last week, it's going to go through all shows. I mean, it's WrestleMania season. They should have left the transfer window open until after WrestleMania just to make sense. Why?
No, because I feel like something they're going to do something after Mania, some kind of weird draft, not including champions are protected or some weird stuff like to move a couple.
But I mean, you had Liv on SmackDown, you had Cody on Raw. I mean, they're still just doing whatever the hell they want, and the transfer window is supposedly closed.
I mean, yeah. But not for nothing, we all can agree. When they had the brand extension, it was done. There was a lot of older wrestlers. These guys were getting beat up 6 days a week. Now, a lot of younger dudes. They're cool with it. It's okay. Live events have been cut in half, if not three quarters. So, but I agree though. But I do appreciate the fact they do stick 92% of the time to the rosters and not this. I'm going to have a wild card and 3 people every week. Vince, stop. What are you doing? It's a brand extension. Don't do that. Stop.
Just say you have one roster at that point.
Thank you. But what they do for the most part do stick to it, and I appreciate that. damn. Rock beat the hell out of him. And there were so many good shots, man.
Yeah.
Like just like Cole runs into the ring, and so does Barrett too. And you got Trep. What? So what's the deal? Like, what's the deal? Mike knows the Seinfeld references. Like, what's the deal with Travis Scott? Like, it just so what? We're gonna throw this guy in here? The Rock's talking about guys who want to get their hands dirty.
Yeah.
What? Trep? What?
Because
you got Sage on him in the corner? Like, we're gonna throw Travis Scott into matches now? I don't know how
he said in the presser probably. So
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't push back on a lot of stuff. I get we have celebrities and things, but like, what the fuck? Like, this guy just shows
Travis Scott and Bad Bunny at WrestleMania.
Stop! No, oh, Jesus Christ! Oh God! 2K25 gone bad. Jesus.
I don't know, but he slapped the shit out of Cody.
But I'm just like, Travis Scott, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Like, when he came out, when that song started playing, he came out from the dugout. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. And then when he walked with The Rock to the ring, I was okay. This is weird. I thought maybe it was just a music thing, and The Rock would keep going. Both,
kind of like they did with Lil Wayne in New Orleans, or with Lil Wayne's song in New Orleans when he came out there. And then, just something at the beginning, but then Travis Scott's like.
And I'm all about like it making sense, right? And I think all of us are about the same thing, right? It makes sense, right? So okay, we're cool with it. And he's like saging himself and doing weird shit in the corner, and I'm like, okay, that's cool too. And Travis couldn't even get the right move. Like he put his throat up, and John Cena's like, no, you want to put it down.
Push it back down.
He's about to get whipped. You want to put his head down. So Travis dropped the ball on that one too. And I'm like, why are you part of this trio? It should literally just be Rock and John. I don't know what's going on. So that's weird to me. That's very weird to me. I don't know. I just want to explain. I'm here for it, but was
because The Rock and Cena get us involved. Travis Scott gets like the Fortnite crew involved. Like the Fortnite generation gets pulled in because they're huge friends of Travis Scott too, and it kind of bridges that gap.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate, I mean, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Why he's in there slapping Cody Rhodes, I'm not real sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I can tell you exactly why.
We've all grown up for so long for Raw. Remember when Raw used to have an intro before it was a cold open to just the audience and we have a match? So it's funny when they announce like, oh, this person does a theme song now for this. They never play an intro anymore. There's no Raw intro. There's no SmackDown intro. It literally just it's the Triple H. Then now together forever. And then we go to everyone talking in the arena. There's no intro anymore, so you don't know who has the song.
Yeah, everybody's showing up at the arena earlier today.
But like, what happened to the intros, man? Like, the hell? I'm not trying to like shake my fist at the sky, but like, Jesus, like if we're talking about theme songs,
old man John.
No, but seriously, nobody thought the theme song is meant to like. Where's even like was it 4 years ago? They were still doing it on Fox. Like Fox had a cool intro. Like the hell, Netflix doesn't even have one now. Whatever.
WWE stopped because they couldn't get better than the Pointer Sisters.
Stop it! Stop it! No, come on! No.
I mean, I can tell you why though.
No, come on, man! Don't do that.
I mean, you would be entrusting Def Rebel there to do your theme music, and all it would be it would open up. This is Raw.
No,
Raw.
It's Travis Scott is the Raw intro, and it's Megan Thee Stallion, right? It has SmackDowns, right? Yeah. You don't. It's all done. You just got to make a cute little video package of like everyone like beating the shit out of each other and blow it all up, and then you go right into the announcers talking.
My 13-year-old daughter sitting there having dinner with me while we're watching the show. Fiend starts playing on my TV. Her eyes light up. She looks at the TV and goes, "Why are they playing that?" That's why. Because she lit up hearing that song.
Yep.
So I don't understand Travis Scott being in the middle of this thing because, like, if I think everybody's comparing it right to the NWO and Hogan flipping, when I think of those three guys raising each other's hands, I don't remember whoever the rap guy was at the time raising their hand with them. I don't remember that because he wasn't there. So Travis Scott being in this picture, a little weird to me, but it gets those 13-year-olds, those young teenagers that listen to him into that moment.
Well, not for nothing though. The NWO also had Dennis Rodman, who wasn't a rapper, but
the worm, baby.
There were still. I mean, Karl Malone was involved at one point. I mean, they did have celebrities there too.
Yeah.
It's just it's a different style. It's a different time. I mean, that's all it is.
I mean, all of us have been here for. We all of us watched when I think we all did when we watched Bash at the Beach. This was probably the best. Rock is doing his best job of doing the callbacks of getting a corporate champion and having the big heel turn that you don't expect, and exactly the Cena doing and then doing the turn, playing his part as Hogan. I think it was booked really well. I think we all talked about this. With Cena, so the fact once Cena was in the ring doing his thing, like kind of clapping for Cody, I literally sat here and went, "Oh, Cody's gonna tell him no, and Cena's gonna turn." This is so apparent. Instead of having Cena walk to the ring, he's already in the ring, and he's just gonna be the guy who turncoats. But I'm here for it, man. I think Cena again. I think it's something that he's put down for a long time. And I think we go back to the Royal Rumble press conference where it's best for business, and I deserve this now. I think he needs to have one more good heel turn. He'll come back out of it toward the end of the year, go back face, and on a good note, have his fun here, Ruthless Aggression here in Boston. Have a great send-off. Everyone's going to love him. And Rock will come out. Everyone's going to hug him. It's going to be roses and petals and rainbows for everybody. But yeah, it's great. I think
Since we're doing callbacks, I would love, and I mentioned this to Michael. I mentioned this to Michael while we were watching the post. I hope we get like a Rock versus Triple H style, like not physically, but like where they pick Survivor Series teams, where Triple H is trying to fight for the WWE and the Rock has got the corporate team that they used to do, and then have John Cena turn right there and join Triple H and the good guys again, and let him have like the last month and a half, 2 months as a baby face.
If you guys
that would be cool.
No, and that's to that point. If you guys are listening to the presser, because obviously they have to keep the two separate, right? Because there's Paul Levesque and there's Dwayne Johnson, right? Dwayne's TKO. Paul's obviously all WWE. He does his thing as CCO. Paul's like, listen, I worked with Dwayne a lot, and I watched it. I went, holy shit, like this is awesome. And then Rock does his thing. He goes, yeah, I work with my team. He was very precise to say, I work with my team and this guy. I look at Paul. I mean, Paul worked a lot. So Dwayne, they're doing a very good job making it seem like they're very much they're together, but they have different teams of where they work on separate sides. Paul said it, and even Dwayne said it. Dwayne's like, Paul, he's like, I work with my team. I looked at Paul, said, this is what we're going to do. Like, okay, great. And Paul looked at me, said, this is where, and Paul, and Triple H is like, yeah, I'm watching. And I go, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever seen. This is great. I had no idea, but acting like they have no idea what the other two are going to do. So that's actually like very perfect of like, we build that down the road to a Survivor Series War Games, the blow off of the last John Cena. Obviously the Rock having his one last shot of taking over and doing that thing. Because Rock is very adamant of talking about how Ari tells him, "Oh, you run WWE. You're the owner. You do this stuff." And so I think that would be perfect for those two. As for Survivor Series, that'd be awesome. But so for WrestleMania, just your thoughts. What do you guys think? We have Bianca, we have Rhea, we have Cody, we have Cena. Just some preliminary thoughts, not getting too crazy. Obviously, we're all going to do shows, talk about it. We're going to all together and conversate. But just from the end game of the PLE of Elimination Chamber, what are your thoughts going to WrestleMania for the next 47 days? Mike, I'll start with you from kicking.
Well, first of all, we might have EO. You don't know. But no, that's not happening. I'd love to see it happen, but that's not happening. That's just to get her there. It's going to be a great show. Like the way they're booking it right now. And recently, actually, Road Dogg just did a podcast. It was like right before he got announced as the main writer now. But he had said like they still look at we book Mania and book backwards. And so all of this is leading to that. So I think it's only going to get even bigger as we get there. I do love that tonight we seem to hear less of who gets the main event. And they even kind of asked that question in the presser of like, who's getting the main event? Because right now, to me, the biggest thing is Cena Cody. Like that's the biggest thing you got going right now.
Yeah.
So that currently looks like it has to be the main event. So the fact that we're leaning more on like they get their title shot, but where it sits, it just depends on where we're at that moment. I love that we're looking at that as an organizational piece instead of no, they have to have the main event because they won the Rumble.
Right. Awesome. Mike from Running, what are your thoughts?
I'm just excited. I think it's going to be a great show. I mean, we've got matches that we kind of thought we were going to get in a few. You know, like you've got Tiffany and Charlotte, which I think could be a great match. You know, Bianca and I'm going to go ahead and say Rhea because I think it's going to be Rhea.
Yeah, I agree.
A match that we've seen maybe once or twice, but it's been a while, maybe back in NXT, but is going to be a great match. Two of the best women's wrestlers on the roster. Now and going into the future for a little bit. Cody and Cena, holy shit moment. Who knows what's going to happen during that match?
Dude,
at this point,
the build up to that is going to be wild. Of what they like, of what The Rock does and what he builds up. It's going to be so crazy. I'm so here for it, man. That's going to be a wild match.
Seth and Punk. If you don't add Roman Reigns into that. If Roman inserts himself into that, I mean,
Roman's got to be involved in that. I think that's why I think those two, and then Roman gets involved. I think it's got to be because where else does Roman go?
Yeah. I mean, you've got the building blocks of an incredible show already. Do we all think we get Solo and Jacob at Mania?
It seems to be that's what we're building, but
Solo. Yeah, I mean they've alluded to it, but I don't. I'd rather see one of them going for a title. I still want to see Jacob win the U.S. title. Maybe they're in a match against each other for a title, but I'd like to see Jacob get crowned like U.S. champion at Mania because I think he deserves that. He's carried that brand for a while, man. He deserves something at Mania like that.
He has, but I talked about this. I think Drew turns his attention to the U.S. title. I think Drew becomes a U.S. champion. I know it's a weird call. I know. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind seeing Drew and Fatu. That'd be.
I would love for. I love Jacob Fatu. I would love for him to be U.S. champion. But I think Drew gets that piece. I think he gets the title, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of his path of how he's going to get to Mania and how that's going to work out. But that's just. But yeah.
Awesome. We need some smaller matches. I mean, we've got the big card fleshed out. We need to start. Matches. Yeah, so we need. Yeah,
I'm sure Liv and Raquel they're gonna have a tag team match. The War Raiders are gonna have a match. Like, I'm just my thing is I know the PLEs ever under Paul have been like 4 or 5. Let them breathe. Now that we're doing 2 nights, I'm hoping Mania isn't like a 4-match card. I hope we have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 matches. Like make it,
I'm sure it'd be like 4 a night, like each night being almost like its own pay-per-view.
Nah, I think it'll be more than that. I think for WrestleMania, you'll do 5 or 6 each.
At least 6, because then we have it's at least 4 hours, right? You start at 7, special start time, right? You get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 10:30, 3.5 hours. Like, I just don't. You got to feature these guys, man. Like you got to have the little matches, like Mike said. Like we know it's gonna be Cody to Cena. We know it's gonna be these guys. Like, just the little matches that matter. The mid cards. Make sure the women are obviously featured in prominent matches for their mid card titles, things like that. Obviously NXT is on Stand Deliver, so they're not going to be a part of it. But
we have to have the obligatory multi-man match too. They always throw in
rumble
of some sort or
a showcase, or getting all the tag teams into one match, or some kind of what they do last year. The Battle Royal. The women's and men's battle royal, not for the Andre the Giant, but just get rid of that. That does not. I feel bad.
They've already moved it to SmackDown.
That's such a disservice. That person is they get a little statue. It's not even like they get anything crazy like a title match.
Crappy statue that keeps falling apart.
It's what you're not wrong. But that's what I'm saying. Like, don't do it if that person doesn't win that and gets like a title match or does something crazy. I'm all for these battle royals and doing crazy stuff, but like give these people a reason to win. Give them like a reward. Not just like, hey, me holding the Andre the Giant. Get out of here, man.
Now I got to travel with this piece of shit.
Yeah, no shit. It used to be like, remember the Battleground? Remember, not Battleground. Bragging Rights. Remember the Bragging Rights pay-per-view where you get the little smack? Get the fuck. Stop. What are you doing? Don't do that. Stop it. Be better.
Well, they can put it with that Greatest Royal Rumble belt that we haven't heard about since.
I have it. It's over here. I have it. I have the belt.
Well, and Braun Strowman's won both of those, right? So he's got at least
still
both of
going
them.
strong. Braun is still going strong, man.
Well, it's good to know that WWE and you have given the Saudi money.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're going to be giving them a lot more in the next couple of years. Yeah, starting with the Royal Rumble next year.
But it starts at 9 now, so it's fine.
Yeah, at least it's more of an afternoon show for us. Makes it better.
Some breakfast.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so instead of us doing this at midnight, we get to do our post show at like 2 o'clock and still go do something.
Day out from work. I can't just like, just not working at all. That's all.
But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see an Intercontinental multi-man match. I think that would be good. They're building towards a SmackDown multi-tag match. I mean, with all that, I don't know if that happens at Mania, but we
talked about the
SmackDown
Shakedown. Like Jesus, every team got into the ring the other night. Like Jesus, man, everyone got in there last night.
Well, and if you want to tie all this stuff in, like you've got all these other things going on now, the LFG and Evolve, throw some of them kids in there. Do just a little showcase match for them.
I'm the biggest advocate. I've been talking about this. Like I talked about it like last year after year, but like NXT being its own standalone brand, getting it. Evolve was definitely purchased and made. So now when you see people say, "Oh, NXT developmental," no, NXT is a third brand, and Evolve is our developmental brand. That's where everyone goes and they wrestle and they come over here to one of the three brands.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with what you're saying though. You can do a showcase match and bring them up, but I think that
if you're going to do that, though, bring back pre-show matches.
Well, that's the thing too. Like they still do main event. I haven't been to a Raw or SmackDown in a long time. They haven't come out here to Worcester at all. But I guess they still do main event. People are like, oh my god, so and so's on main event, right? Because they need to. It's okay. It's not a pre-show. They're just doing something.
Penta's on main event. At least you got a match.
And they're getting you amped. Yeah. And people put so much stock into it. I'm like, no, it's not like Velocity and Sunday Night Heat and all this other crap they used to do. Like, it's not like that, man. It's
and I said this. I said it, and even about AEW when everybody was dogging AEW when they put Toni Storm on Collision when she came back. You have to put your popular stars on your smaller shows to give people a reason to watch your smaller shows.
Exactly.
There's a reason sometimes you put a Penta on main event or you put a Toni Storm on a Collision or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because you have to give somebody, because if you keep putting C-level talent on these shows at all times, you're going to get a C-level audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with WWE Speed, right? Everyone's like, oh, who's the Speed champion? It's on X. Guys, it's on X. It's not even on a regular, it's not USA, it's not CW, it's not anything. It's X.
3 minutes long. I mean,
thank you. Like, guys, relax. When I went to an AEW show like last year, and I watched Dark, Dynamite, and then Rampage, and I was at DCU Center for 6 hours watching 3 shows worth of being taped, which is great.
Plus, like 5 extra matches that he threw on.
Holy shit! Like my wife looked at me like, and she was like, do we have to stay for the rest of this? And I'm like, oh, well, but this is Rampage, so I'm gonna miss the matches. Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they do the X matches. That's why they do these little 3-minute matches. I just
when they don't even acknowledge them. Like, Candice LeRae didn't come out with her X or her Speed championship.
Nope.
Because they don't. It's strictly canon to Speed.
Yeah.
They may mention it every now and then, but that's it.
Yeah. And the same thing, a lot of people WWE's getting a lot of shit for the ID championships. Like, 2 more worthless championships. Not to the people who are fighting for this that just got signed and they're doing things down at their level. Those championships aren't bullshit because they're actually meaning something to them. It's so
not the indie promotion that gets to announce, hey, we've got the WWE ID champion going to be on our card next week. Come watch our show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Exactly.
Like I saw a video had Hollywood Haley J from OVW. You know that they're going to pimp the shit out of that if she ends up with one of those belts.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah, as they
Yeah.
should.
And that's a great thing I love about this genre and this regime of WWE. They know they're open to like pointing everyone out to everything else. And AEW was great with that. Tony Khan was great. He was like, "Hey, listen, you're cool here. Go over there, win some belts." But now Vince was like totally against that.
Mm-hmm.
Paul now is like, "Fuck it, go do your thing, man. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I go win some belts." Like,
There's actually a show
Ricky
coming up
Saints
that
right
has
now.
all
Ricky
three
Saints
of the
right
major
now is the
brands.
current. Ricky Saints is defending his championship this upcoming weekend. All right, maybe next weekend. Not sure.
Wait, what?
I thought he dropped it. I thought he.
Yeah, he dropped that yesterday. He put
He
out a
already
video.
dropped?
He dropped it. Yeah,
Shit, my bad.
he
Sorry.
dropped it.
Sorry.
Yeah, they talked about having a
Shit.
match, and then he was just like, "I'm relinquishing it. I'm going to give it back to you guys."
They're gonna do they're doing a tournament to have a
come
new Defy
on.
champion.
But we got
He
that.
really dropped it?
Yeah,
Ah,
we got that Chris Bay
I
event
missed
coming up
that.
though. That's got
Shit.
AEW, TNA, and WWE talent in it.
Yep.
Damn.
And that would have happened on Vince's watch.
Yeah, I know. But I like how it's just like a nice little hodgepodge of like, and even TNA is like, dude, seeing the Hardys in NXT last week, dude, I popped like a motherfucker. Like,
I want
was
them
like,
to
yo.
retire, but them showing up back in WWE is just awesome.
Yeah. So it's an awesome time. Me and Mike talk about it all the time, and obviously you and me, we talk about it. It's just such a great time to be a wrestling fan. If you like wrestling, just watch. Every week is great. If you're AEW, just tune in because it's great. So, yeah. So I think this PLE was awesome. The post show obviously was great. Triple H said all his usual stuff. Rock said some great stuff. Cena said nothing. But yeah,
It was the loudest of all.
dude. Silence is so loud.
Mhm.
It was so deafening. I'm telling you, I'm hoping he has a great promo with this upcoming Friday. I'm praying to God, man, this man drops because Cena can go. Aside from the raps, and I want to get back to that. We were talking about you don't want to see the raps, but I'm not talking about him coming out like yow, 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 but coming into the ring and just spitting some nasty shit at Cody and just in general. I just the real stuff like breaking down the fourth wall and just being told like I don't give a shit, like I'm out of here, so I'm gonna say this because you may not like it, but I'm gonna say it to you anyway, and that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm hoping for.
And I'll tell you one thing I would like him to focus on. I want John Cena to be the one guy that says, "I don't care about your dad."
Yes, thank you. Like, dude, say it. I don't care what you
care who your dad is. Don't care who your
Yeah,
family is. I want that championship. That's all I care about.
Yep.
Yeah. I will say the only reason I would go against the raps and stuff is because that's how he got popular. When he was a heel the first time, he started doing the raps. People loved it, got behind him.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate what he's doing now, Jericho, when he went to that corporate persona that he had, he took away everything.
Yep.
He talked slower. He had the suits. He didn't do all the flashy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If Cena came out in one of his suits, because the dude has immaculate suits.
He does.
If he came out in one of those suits and
he rivals Cody
and did none of the rapping and didn't do any of that stuff, completely flipped it on its ear, I think that's kind of interesting.
Did you guys see what I put on Twitter? It's Peacemaker versus
Homelander.
It's gonna be like these two.
The gears for that 1-on-1 needs to represent that.
It can't be. I really hope they lean into it. Like, I'm just,
to be fair, Cody's gear always represents that.
That's what I'm saying. So I hope John comes out on something kind of like leaning into it, because I'm like, please do it, please, come on,
please do the dance,
do the thing,
to the ring,
do the thing,
do the Peacemaker dance as your entrance. Oh, that would be so funny.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Have an eagle fly in.
Dude,
have him pick him up, take him to the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think, I think they did a great job. This PLE definitely. We've all talked about it on different levels. I think at every aspect of the show so far, and Triple H talks about it all the time. And it's just like, how can we go better? Like, we were here. What can we do next year to go here? So, like, the Elimination Chamber was here, right? For Cena, we got the turn. What are we going to do next year? And Mania was here. Everyone came out for the locker room, and they beat Rock. And now Rock's against Cody again. But now he's John Cena's corner. Like, what do we do? It's just getting better and better and better. If they just keep doing that, I just feel like the product is going to be so much better. And I just hope everyone else can keep up. TNA.
Yeah, shout out. I saw somebody on Twitter post a picture that says Cody make the call, and it's him hugging Stone Cold. Since that was the big rumors, they couldn't get Stone Cold last year, and John Cena was the substitute for Stone Cold. Or no, the Undertaker was the substitute.
Undertaker, yeah.
The Undertaker was substitute.
Yep.
So yeah,
Make the
if
call.
Stone Cold coming out this year would be
stunning the shit. I'll give anything for a rock soul stunner, man.
Yeah, you tear a tricep on the way though. That's
dude. But it's just like I just think if the product, if they keep doing that, like TNA, AEW, NWA, everyone just needs to keep up and keep raising their game, and they just need to keep up with TKO and WWE, man, because that's just how it is. If WWE's all the way up here, then it's be the second wherever you're gonna be. Just
raise your own bar. Stop trying to raise above everybody else.
Thank you, man. Like I say
and
it all the time.
Triple H,
I say it with Jesse all the time on Wednesdays. Everyone shits on AEW, the smaller crowds, this and that. I'm just like, don't focus on WWE. Just storyline, build your product, get stars in, do your thing. Like if you do that, you don't have to be up here. You're not going to beat WWE in the TKO, but be here and be solid. Be solid here, and you can be a solid too. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, Triple H even mentioned that, referencing themselves during the press conference. He goes, "Yeah, we want to be the biggest entertainment, biggest. We want to be bigger than everybody. Well, not the NFL, because we're not going to touch them for a few years."
Yeah, he said that for a few years. He goes, "We might get there,"
but that's fine. That's the way other companies need to look at the WWE. Is look, we may not touch the WWE, but let's get better at what we're at, and when we start getting close, then we can start nipping at heels.
Well, that's my hope.
Right now, let's focus on getting better.
And that's my hope for AEW. I say it on Wednesdays. I say it with Jesse. And, obviously you can sit here and you can talk a lot of shit about AEW. You can dissect them, whatever, whatever. But if Tony just focus, WWE has come out and said, listen, Michael Cole said it on Impulsive. We're entertainment. We're storytelling. We're no longer wrestling. We're entertainment. So if you're AEW, you go, shit, okay. So let's just be the wrestling product. Let's be the place people come and watch this. That's what you need to focus on. If you're that, you'll be fine. But WWE is very, very adamant. It's almost like it's almost triple. Paul says it. Michael Cole said it. It's almost like they're literally saying to everybody else, listen, we're entertainment. We're doing stories. You guys do the wrestling. We're going to do the story stuff and the cinema stuff. You guys do everything else. And it's like no one else is picking up the phone on that and hearing the call to just do your own thing while we do this.
Bischoff said it a long time ago, and Tony seems to refuse to listen to the old heads in the business.
Thank you.
I got where I got because I was something different.
Yes.
They were doing this. I flipped it on its ear and did the opposite of what they did. And then I got better than them because I did something that people wanted to see.
They were great with the rankings. They were great with their storylines when they first started. I say this all the time. I sit here. I've been watching AEW since day one. I tuned in for Cody Rhodes, all this other stuff, and I've been watching ever since, obviously, because we do this every week. But I've been watching it, and it's like you need to build the stuff. You have all the WWE guys coming in, cool, awesome. Build the storylines. Make it make sense. Be wrestling. Don't do weird shit. Don't do over-the-top stuff. Be wrestling. That's what people want. You're the alternative. But it's like, Tony, at some point, something turned and went, oh my God, we're losing your ratings. We need to do weird shit. No, be you. Do what you brought you to the dance. Keep doing you, and that will carry you on. And it's also building younger talent. But you can only bring in so many WWE guys. And that's always, I've said this since day one, that's always going to be the one thing that WWE has over everyone else. Whether it was NXT, now it's Evolve. They're always building 45 to 50 people who will take the spots of the 45 to 50 people over here who might go, I'm done. I'm too old. I retire. I'm done. I'm all set. I'm out. AEW has people from WWE. They bring them in. They have some people who are pillars, but then they don't like them. They send them away. They don't put them on TV, whatever. But I think it's just a business. It's just a business kind of like way of doing things. I don't know, but I don't want to see anyone go away because competition has been great for WWE, and no competition. I don't think any of us can sit here and say that no competition will mean anything for WWE. They'll keep going on now, being with TKO and doing what they do. They'll keep thriving. It doesn't matter if there's an AEW. It doesn't matter if there's an, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But I would like to see an alternative and AEW thrive and be that secondary market for now that can be a place for people to go that can't make it in WWE. That's just my thing. But that's
but
I don't want a whole tangent or anything, but
anybody that says WWE is not better now than it was 10 years ago because AEW exists isn't paying attention.
Oh, it is. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, WWE is better because of AEW.
Yeah.
1 million.
I want AEW to keep that going, though. Keep putting the feet to the fire. Get better. Put people in. Do the matches. Make WWE go, shit, we're miles ahead, but we can't take our eyes off of that. We can't just take our foot off the gas. Keep getting better. I agree 100%. But yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, the PLE was awesome. Elimination Chamber was amazing. It slapped, and I'm very, very excited for the road to WrestleMania. I'm sure all of us will talk in the next coming weeks. It's only 46 days up until the big event in Las Vegas. So, yeah, awesome. Mike from Run-In, where can we find you guys? Where can we find you when you're not talking to me or anybody else? Where can we find you on socials?
You can find me everywhere at the name it says right there at _Big Mike 27. X, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, anything else. You may go look at MySpace. I may have something there. Who knows?
Tom.
YouTube.
Thank you, Tom.
Or YouTube, the Run-In Wrestling Podcast. You can also search me there or at _Big Mike 27 as well. Come check us out Thursday nights at 8:00 Central.
Awesome. I know I'm tuning in when those guys are on Thursdays. Mike from Kicking, where can we find you?
So me personally, I'm on X at Horror Wrestling, but you can find anything of our show at Kicking Out at 2, except for on Twitter. We're at Kicking Out at 2 PC there.
Awesome. And if you're tuning in and watching me, I'm sure you guys are already subscribed. You can find me at Chairshot Sports, YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, on Twitch as well. Doing something probably every night of the week involving some WWE, AEW, TNA, or something like that with one of the two gents you see here, or Princess Skywalker as well on Wednesday nights with the Run-In. So awesome, guys. Oh, sorry, the Lowdown, not the Run-In. That's Thursday nights. Awesome.
I mean, I'll take the free publicity.
Yeah, right.
Since John Cena took my spot, I said last night I'd sell my soul to The Rock, but John Cena took my spot. So
Mike was so adamant. He's like, "Listen, Dwayne, if he doesn't do it, I'm here. Here's my act. Let's go.
I'll do it.
Let's do this."
I'm cheaper than John Cena. I guarantee you, I don't cost as much money as John Cena. I'm just saying.
I have no adrenaline in my soul.
God doesn't need money. The fact that Mike hit me with the can't take his soul. That's where his adrenaline comes from. I was like, I'm out. Man,
I can't take full credit for that. I saw that joke somewhere else, and I was
that was awesome. I was like, dude,
awesome.
Come on, man. But awesome. But yeah, so you can catch Mike on Thursday nights, me and Jesse on Wednesday nights on the Lowdown, and myself probably every other night of the week covering something for wrestling. So myself, from Mike and Mike, and for me, for John Anthony, guys, it's been fun, and hopefully Elimination Chamber is awesome for you guys, and we are on the road to WrestleMania. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.